Doing all right?
Hey, I know you. From the colony. What do you want here?
You hardly know who to believe these days.
I've come to join you.
Why not? I've got nothing against it. Anyway, you freed our mine from the guards back then. But don't count on getting along with the others here so easily. A lot of newbies have come along since then, and some of the old mercenaries won't remember you. I almost didn't recognize you. You look rather haggard.
When the barrier fell, I barely got away with my life.
Looks like you got lucky then.
Same thing all over again.
Do you have anything to sell?
Oh, don't ask. Bennett, one of the new guys, takes care of the weapons and armor now.
Wants to hear that.
In the colony, I was responsible for Lee's entire weapons store. And then along came a trained smith and pow, I'm out of a job. I desperately need a new job, even if all I do is guard the farms out there. I don't care, just as long as I'm not twiddling my thumbs here anymore.
I'm not telling you anything new.
Can you teach me anything?
I can teach you a few tricks in handling a bow if you want. I don't have anything better to do right now anyway.
Sooner or later.
And? Found a new task yet?
Not so far. Let me know if you have a job for me.
I've heard a thing or two.
Have you tried finding a job in town?
In the city? Wild horses couldn't drag me there. Where do you think I would want to work there as a militia soldier? I can just imagine myself in the courtier's uniform. And then that obsession with obedience. Nah, forget it. There may not be anything to do here on the farm, but at least I can do what I want.
Nobody will know anything about me.
I want to learn more about archery.
What should I teach you?
So don't tell me that.
No one really wants to hear that.
Do you hardly know what's about you anymore?
Hello, I'm new here.
Anything from me.
Don't take this the wrong way, but I'm not really in the mood for conversation. I'm totally wrecked.
You're awfully busy, huh?
You can say that again. Bennett makes so many weapons that I can hardly keep up with the polishing.
What can you tell me about the farm?
This is Onar's farm. That big building is his house. He vacated a wing for the mercenaries. We farmers have had to bunk in the barn ever since. But it's all right with me. It's good that we have people who guard the farm. The building here is the kitchen. Maybe you'll be lucky and Thekla will have something for you to eat.
What about the mercenaries?
Onar hired them to keep the city militia off our backs. But they also guard the farm, the sheep, and us farmers. So don't even think about stealing anything or rummaging around in somebody's chest. They're just waiting for a chance to knock you down.
Can I buy weapons from you?
I don't have much. We take almost all the swords and axes into Onar's house.
That's all just...
Wait a minute. I do not sell any weapons. Khalid does. He's in the house with Onar.
What kinds of weapons do you make?
Plain swords at the moment, not much else. But if I had some magic ore, I can forge weapons that are better than all comparable weapons made from regular old steel. You wouldn't happen to know where to find some around here? Besides in the Valley of Mines, I mean.
No.
Of course not.
Are you with the farmers or the mercenaries?
You're pulling my leg, aren't you?
I was just curious.
Have you ever seen a farmer who also forges weapons?
No.
Then why do you ask such stupid questions?
Listen to the wrong people.
I want to join the mercenaries.
Stop blabbering then. Go to Torloff and let him put you to the test.
Can you teach me how to forge a sword?
Sure. That'll cost you a bit, though. Let's say 30 gold pieces.
Fine. Here's 30 for you.
That was a damn good price, too. We can start as soon as you're ready. I've got my own opinion about that.
What about forging equipment?
What do you need?
Get that from me. That's not my problem.
I've got my own opinion about that.
Of course,
How are things?
Hey, don't I know you from somewhere?
It's possible.
I used to deal in swamp weed back in the colony. Remember?
You completely.
And what are you dealing in now?
Ah, don't ask. I brought a whole package of swamp weed with me from the mining colony. Many of the mercenaries like a little smoke now and then. I've earned a small fortune on the side. But some bastard stole all the weed from my chest. I'm pretty sure it was that Bodo. He bunks in the same room as me, and he always grins at me like such an idiot.
What are you going to do about the thief then?
One of these days, I'll catch him puffing away on my weed. And then, I'll find a quiet spot and teach him a lesson he won't forget. If I knock him down here in the middle of the yard, the other farmers will notice, and I'll pay an arm and a leg.
How come?
Quite simple. We can't rough up the farmers, otherwise Lee makes us pay a heavy fine. That's the way NOTR wants it. And the more witnesses there are, the more of a fuss there is. That makes things more expensive. So I'll pull the thing off nice and inconspicuously.
I want to join Lee's people.
Lee's people? If Lee keeps on this way, they soon won't be his anymore.
Why?
Lee has always been a quiet one. It was that way in the colony, too. But lately, he's overdoing it. He just wants to sit here and wait until the paladins drop dead from starvation. Silvio thinks we should clean up a bit on the small farms and outside the city. I think that would make for an excellent change. At the moment, most of us are just twiddling our thumbs here. Do you want to join up anyway?
I'm not telling you anything new.
I want to become one of you no matter what.
You already know that we take a vote on every new recruit.
What are you hinting at?
Well, I haven't had anything to smoke in a long time. Bring me a few swamp weed reefers and you got my vote. You can surely scare some up someplace.
About the swamp weed. Here's a few stalks for you.
Oh, you are my man. You've got my vote.
Show me your wares.
Sure, help yourself.
I agree with you completely. I would have known that all along.
Nobody wants to know.
How's it going?
The militia has bullied us long enough. Now that the mercenaries are on our side, they won't dare to just show up here anymore.
That's all just
The
gossip.
king may think he can get away with anything, but we're not going to take it anymore.
I'd have gone about it.
In town, they're talking about a peasants' revolt.
Nonsense. We aren't doing anything except defending what we've worked hard for. It's certainly true that the war is being fought on the backs of the peasants, but NOTR is no longer prepared to just stand by and watch while the king bleeds us dry.
He ran like Beliar himself was after him.
Can I rest somewhere around here?
If you're looking for a place to sleep, go to the barn. But don't lie down in a mercenary's bed by mistake. NOTR makes sure that they leave us farmers alone, but with strangers who don't belong on the farm, the mercenaries can do whatever they like.
That's all just
Cypher told me somebody stole a package of swamp weed from him.
And?
He thinks you're the one who took it.
Oh, that's why the guy is always gawping at me so stupidly. I've been extra friendly to him lately because he seems to have hit a rough spot. But there was nothing I could do.
believe these days.
I'd look at him friendly-like, and he'd stare at me like he wanted to kill me.
He really said that. That's not what
Don't say you didn't know that.
He doesn't even know how to hold a sword.
Step in and sort things out.
What are you smoking there?
Want a toke?
Nobody ever asked for my opinion.
Sure.
Can't rely on that.
He really said that.
Not bad, huh?
Where did you get the stuff?
Really didn't deserve that.
No one really wants to hear that.
I can't help him.
I have my sources.
Do you do anything besides smoke?
Not at the moment.
I want to join the mercenaries. Do you mind?
Who cares?
Cypher told me that someone stole a package of swamp weed from him. Would you know anything about that?
No.
Where's the package?
What do I know?
I'll knock it out of you.
Relax, I'm way too stoned to fight with you. Here, first take a big toke.
Do you do anything besides smoke?
Not at the moment.
He really should have known better. Sooner or later.
Will it ever change? That is his strength. So don't tell me that.
Nobody wants to know. I hardly know what to believe anymore.
Nothing amazing.
I know who took your weed.
Who? Was it that Bodo?
No, one of the mercenaries did it. Dar.
That bastard. Where is he?
Finding him won't help you. He doesn't have the package anymore. He sold it in Corinus.
Where is he?
Behind the kitchen building on the corner.
I'll flatten him.
That's the truth.
Hey, you! Wait a minute. You really gave Dar what for? Are you feeling better now?
Yeah, that felt good.
Not to him, I suppose.
The little beggar has no business going through my chest.
Well, we'll see the next time.
Would this package of swamp weed happen to be yours?
Well, I'll be... Where'd you get that?
It's a long story.
Doesn't matter. Really, you're a decent guy. Here, take this as a reward. Have fun with it. First, let me roll a few.
Blabbermouth, you told Cypher I took his weed. Like hell will I vote for you.
Hey, don't I know you from somewhere?
It's possible. I was in the colony too.
Right. What do you want?
How's the situation?
Right now, we've got real trouble. Two factions are building up amongst us mercenaries. Silvio and his people doubt that Lee is following the right plan.
How come there are two factions?
Most of us came out of the colony with Lee back then, but some of the mercenaries hooked up with us later. They didn't come from the colony, but were farther south fighting the Yorks. Somehow they got wind that Lee needed people. Their leader was Silvio. He agreed that Lee was in charge, but now he's trying to stir up the mercenaries against him and his plan. A lot of Lee's people don't think that it's a big problem, but I know guys like Silvio. He'll go to extremes to realize his ideas.
Do you know what Lee's intentions are?
Lee wants us to wait and starve the paladins in the city. He is planning to get us all away from the island, and Enos knows I've got nothing against getting away from here. I don't really know how he's planning to go about it, but I trust him. He's led us well so far.
Do you know what Silvio is planning?
Silvio found out that some of the paladins have moved out to the old colony. He says the rest of the paladins wouldn't dare to attack us here and wants to take advantage of the situation. Plunder the small farms, waylay the militia patrols outside the city, hold up travelers, things like that. But Lee thinks that would be the worst thing we could do in our situation.
I want to become a mercenary.
I'm not sure that's a good idea.
Where's the problem?
Well, I either have to vote for you or against you. And in the situation we're in, I'll only vote for you if I can be sure that you're on Lee's side.
So what should I do?
Simple. Beat up a few of Silvio's boys. That way both sides will know exactly where you stand. And if you stick to the rules for a duel, you'll even win the respect of the others.
What are the rules for a duel?
Go to Torloff and let him explain it if you're interested. Just so we understand each other. I don't care if you stick to the rules or not, just as long as the boys wind up out cold in the mud.
Which of the mercenaries are Silvio's men?
There are 6 men. First of all, Silvio himself and his right-hand man, Bullco. Then there's Rod, Sentenza, Fester, and Raoul. The rest of the people are either neutral or on Lee's side.
How many of Silvio's people should I defeat?
If you knock 3 of them to the ground, then you've proven which side you're on. Whom you choose is your business. Just one little hint. This isn't about proving your courage. Don't go up against Silvio himself. He'll make mincemeat out of you.
How many of Silvio's men are still on my list? Fester tried to take me for a ride. That was his mistake. I went to see Raoul.
And?
He was badly in need of a proper licking.
Good. Keep it up. I expect you to rough up at least 3 of them.
What are you doing here in my kitchen?
Something smells delicious here.
Oh, yes. I know the likes of you. They're swarming all over the place. First, they try to get on your good side, and then when you need them, they're nowhere to be seen.
I'm hungry.
I don't dish out food to tramps. I only feed people who work. And that mercenary riffraff, of course.
I'm looking for work.
You want to work here on the farm? Only NOTR can decide that. The farm is his, and so is the entire valley.
Actually, I was planning to join the mercenaries.
So you're another of those felons from the penal colony? I might have known. Just leave me alone. There's already enough of your kind around here.
I need a place to sleep.
Don't even think about sleeping in my kitchen. Go find yourself a place in the barn.
What's your problem with the mercenaries?
Ah, those morons really get on my nerves, especially Silvio and his fat buddy Bullco. The 2 of them have been sitting in their corner for days now, making life miserable for me. The soup's too hot, the meat's too tough, etc. and so forth.
Then why don't you do anything about it?
And what am I to do, Mr. Smarty Pants? Whack them with my rolling pin? I can do that to the farmers, but these lowly bastards just hit back.
Want me to teach the 2 of them some manners?
You better not try that, honey. As far as I know, Silvio has magic armor. He can't be defeated.
And what about Bullco?
That guy is as strong as an ox. So far, he has flattened anyone who tried to mess with him or Silvio.
Hey, you!
It has come to my attention that you have it in for my boys. And as far as I know, you're one of Lee's protégés. I'm warning you, a few things are going to be different around here soon, and we'll talk about this again then.
How's it going?
Have I given you permission to address me?
Thekla has a problem with you.
So, what is the dear lady's problem? And why doesn't she come herself?
You know that damn well.
Why don't you go discuss that with my friend Bullco for a while?
Hey, asshole!
You don't actually think I'd get involved in a duel with you? Go crawl back under your rock.
A lot of people talk about you.
A lot of people talk too much.
What do you think of Lee?
Oh, he's a good fighter. I wouldn't ever want to pick a fight with him. Unless, of course, it couldn't be avoided.
Silvio doesn't like being talked to. You might have gathered as much by now.
Cut out this magic crap already.
Ah, a fight. Hit it! Not bad.
Wait a minute. The two of us should have a chat.
Listen, you won now. Leave me alone.
He really said that. That's no secret. Really did deserve that. Wouldn't be so sure.
How many of Silvio's men are still on my list? I've bested Bullco.
I heard. Not bad.
Fester tried to take me for a ride. That was his mistake. I went to see Raoul.
And?
He was badly in need of a proper licking.
That's enough. That's enough. I'm impressed. If Lee asks me, I can vote for you without hesitation.
You really let Bullco have it, honey. Must have been an exhausting job to thrash that fat swine. Here, have a bite to eat so you'll gain back your strength.
It can't go on like this forever.
Can I have some more of your stew?
I haven't got any now.
Not even a tiny bowl?
No.
Can I lick the pot then?
Will you cut it out? If you're so keen on my stew, you'll have to do something to get it.
What?
Go see Sagita, the healer who lives behind Sekop's farm, and bring me a package of her herbs. If you bring me the herbs, I'll make you some stew.
It's better to watch out who you tell what. That's no secret.
Nobody will learn anything from me.
That was quite obvious. I don't believe this is gonna change.
What do you want from me?
I want to join the mercenaries.
Oh, and why do you think I should be in favor of you being accepted here?
Is it really true?
Put me to the test.
Did Lee send you to me?
No.
Why did you pick
Then
that?
what are you blathering at me for?
He really says a bad business.
What are the rules for a duel?
Quite simple. Both opponents have to have the opportunity to draw their weapons before the first blow. You can't just go and belt one of the men without warning. There has to be some sort of spoken challenge, an insult, or another reason to fight. None of the other men will interfere in a fight like that, unless one of the two gets killed in the duel.
Is it really true?
Can you help me improve my abilities?
I could show you how to use your strength better in close combat.
It's a bad business.
A lot of fighters are very weak because they don't have the technique to use their strength properly. The same is true for dexterity and ranged weapons.
You didn't get that from me. I hardly know what to believe anymore.
He never would have thought of that himself.
That's the first I've heard. I don't know who to believe these days. You have to step in.
Agree with you completely.
I have to step in and sort things out.
If you have a problem with wolves or field raiders, go talk to one of the younger mercenaries. You can come to me when the paladins show up here.
What?
Whenever one of you peasants comes to me, it's always about slaughtering innocent beasts.
I'm not a peasant.
Oh? What is it you want then?
I want to become a mercenary.
You look more like someone who'd been born to work in the field, boy. Can you wield a weapon then? So, how about one-handed weapons?
I'm not so bad at that.
And two-handed weapons then?
I'm surely gonna get better.
Well, at least you're not a damn beginner. All right, I'm gonna vote you in. Whatever else you need to know, you can learn from me.
What should I learn first, one-handed or two-handed combat?
Those two types of arms are rather similar. As soon as you reach the next level with one type of weapon, you automatically learn for the other as well. If, for instance, you're good at fighting with one-handed swords, but still a beginner with two-handed weapons, your two-handed skills will go up as well whenever you train with a one-hander. If you train with one type of weapon only, you'll find the training more exhausting. If you always train both, you'll arrive at the same result with less effort. In the end, the outcome will be the same either way. It's your choice.
What are the advantages of one-handed or two-handed weapons?
A good question. I see you've given the subject some thought. One-handed weapons are faster, but a little weaker. Two-handers cause more damage, but you can't strike as fast. Also, you need more strength to wield a two-hander. This means additional training. The only way to become really good is to invest a lot of effort.
Bullco got what was coming to him. I've taught him a lesson.
The swine deserved it.
Hey, where you think you're going?
To the house, of course.
NOTR pays us not to let guys like you in here.
I want to talk to Lee.
What do you want from him?
I want to join the mercenaries.
Fresh cannon fodder. Then go on in. Lee is in the right wing. Don't even think about wandering around anywhere else. But above all, leave NOTR alone. He doesn't like it when people talk to him without being asked. Especially not guys like you.
But he knew that all along. Is it really true? I couldn't care less. It was just like you said.
Everything fine with you?
If it's something important, go talk to Lee. Otherwise, leave me alone.